Jesus 6 in his last 4. People will be asking, do they need a striker now, Ian?
No, but I said at the start of the season, those two players I'm really, really delighted to see are finding some form at a time where Arsenal need it the most. Are scoring goals now and are playing well and are contributing, because last season, I think, between them, they got 10 Premier League goals. And I think if they got 10 each, Arsenal maybe could have gone on to win the league. And I think that they've realised this season how important their contribution is going to be, and you just hope it can continue for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, if ever there is a time for consistency from both of them, this has to be it, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jules asked a question there, you know, has everybody got to chip in without Saka being in? Of course they have. I mean, they don't score enough goals as it is, really, or they've not got enough players that score big amounts of goals. They tend to spread them around a little bit, and they're going to have to up their game from now on. And that started tonight. And it started, actually, for the last couple of weeks. Jesus has been banging them in lately, so that's good. And he'll argue, well, I can always score, it's just I've not been given a chance.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't blame him for thinking along those lines. But good for them today. Go away from home, score 3 goals, and keep the pressure on.
So what changed in the second half to make that win possible, Ian?
Well, I think you say what changed. I think that what I always find with Arsenal is, yes, they had a lot of possession in the first half, but when it's going at a certain pace and you're passing at a certain kind of tempo, teams like Brentford, who are deep, they get set. You know, we couldn't get anything in from the wings. We wasn't getting too much from the wings. They cut it off, and I thought we just passed it a lot quicker. The second half, moved it quicker, moved the ball sharper.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever we watch Arsenal, actually on the show, we often talk about they're at their best when it's one-touch passing. Obviously, when they're catching the opposition out of position, is it easier said than done? Because surely the players are aware. They increase the tempo, they look more dangerous as a result.
Of course it is, but every team is the same, you know. Doing things at speed in any walk of life is much more dangerous, much more happens when you do things fast, you know. You take more risk, you could give the ball away a lot more.
Yeah.
So of a controlled way and not risk the ball too much and play a little bit slower. But we all know if you up the tempo, you've got more chance of scoring goals. And, of course, every team, when they do that, they look a little bit more dangerous. Arsenal today, even though they went 1-0 down, they still had control of the game. They still had a lot of possession in that first half. And obviously getting back on level terms before half-time was absolutely key. You don't want to be going in at the interval down. And then once they had that momentum again, then you always fancied them to come out and nick it in the second half.
I think what happens as well, I think with Brentford's goal is typical as when you're not moving, when you're not making good movement for a person on the ball. And when I say passing it quicker, a lot of things have to happen in respect to parking it quicker. You have to have people making movement. You have to have movement either towards you, beyond you, so that you can pass it quick and then you can keep the ball moving. And I think that it didn't happen a lot in the first half, and in the second half, they just quickened it up a bit.
So 2 goals very soon into the second half.